Miami Heat. We saw that last year. Look, Bam out of the bio is a special type of talent. I get that. But he's not a number 2 option guy that's going to get you over the hump. Jimmy Butler, we saw last year in the playoffs, elevated his game, but he needed help. If you get KD in Miami along with a playoff Jimmy and let Bam play a smaller role but still be the best version of himself, the Miami Heat will be a force to be reckoned with, and they probably should be one of, if not the favorite, to coming out of the Eastern Conference.
Perk, if KD lands on the Heat and they keep most of that team intact, who's going to stop Miami? That's just crazy right there. Because in addition to everything else, that's a Pat Riley organization. That's an Eric Spoelstra coach team. We've already seen what it looks like when KD doesn't try to start the whole thing himself, but when he simply is inserted into a ready-made formula, it is a wrap. All right, finally, Perk. How many titles will Steph win when all is said and done?
Max, a part of me want to do this, but I'm not. I learned my lesson the hard way. I'm gonna go with 5. I'm gonna go with 5. I believe Steph Curry will win one more. Look, when you talk about a special talent, when you talk about generational, I think now Steph Curry knows what it takes to lead the team, go win a championship, go secure a Finals MVP. And one thing we know about that light-skinned, green-eyed brother is that he's never satisfied. He wants more.
I have blue eyes. Oh, you mean Steph. Hey, Perk, I want to say something quickly about I want to say something quick about a comment you made yesterday. You said you and I were the only two who really doubted Steph could do it. I didn't doubt him. I don't know if you doubted him or not. What I was observing, and I thought you too, is he hadn't done it yet. You couldn't give him credit for being the best player in a final series when he hadn't yet done it. He's done it
Max,
now. Now he's done it, but that's different than thinking he can't do it. That's doubting? That's observing.
No, that's doubting. That's doubting. Yeah.
Just in the finals 1 year ago today, Giannis Antetokounmpo put 50 on the Suns in Game 6 of the NBA Finals to clinch the Bucks' first title in 50 years. Perk, how about Giannis in that closeout game, brother?
Well, not only was it one of the greatest finals performances ever, but right here put a stamp on the NBA that Giannis is the best player in the NBA. This game right here solidified that.
Did for a lot of people. While most of the focus has been on the future of Russell Westbrook in LA, there hasn't been much talk about Anthony Davis after back-to-back seasons severely limited by injury. But new Lakers coach Darvin Ham was asked about AD, I should say, on Showtime Basketball's All the Smoke podcast.
This is not going to work without AD. No disrespect to Bron, no disrespect to Russ. They're going to be who they are.
Right.
Like, Bron is going to continue to be great. Russ is going to have a much, much better season. But having AD available, especially with the guys we just signed, the young guys, it's going to be invaluable. And he's the centerpiece to that championship table that we're trying to build.
Here's the thing about the Lakers, Perk. Most of the problem, I'm not saying Russ was a good fit or they had enough shooting. Most of the problem really is they haven't been healthy. LeBron and AD were healthy one season together. I know it was the bubble and everything. They won the championship. One season they were healthy together. Right. They won the whole thing. Can AD be the centerpiece of a championship team for the Lakers, Perk?
Yes, he was before. The year that they won it, he was the go-to guy, and LeBron James said this offense is ran through Anthony Davis. Look, make no mistake about it. Anthony Davis is a top 5 talent in the NBA. And with Darvin Ham being there, Darvin Ham saying things like this gives me another level of comfort that he's going to make sure and emphasize that AD is their go-to guy.
So, Perk, except for the bubble season where LeBron and AD played over 60 games, AD hasn't played 60 games in 4 years. Do you think Lakers fans have reason to believe he could finally be healthy this season? Is it like law of averages, or are there other reasons?
No, they should. And look, We know that. The Lakers fans know. We saw that AD hasn't been healthy, and Anthony Davis knows that, Max Kellerman. This is why Anthony Davis is going three a day as far as his workouts. This is why Anthony Davis is waking up at 4 in the morning. This is why Anthony Davis' body looks phenomenal right now. He knows that, and he's coming into this season with a chip on his shoulder.
As long as there's no chip in the knee or anything, the shoulder we can do. Perk, what would a full, healthy season of LeBron and AD mean for the Lakers this season? They still don't have the shooting and the 3-and-D guys they want as complementary pieces. Westbrook may not be the perfect fit, but if just those two guys are healthy for most of the season, what does it mean for the Lakers?
It means everything. It means the Western Conference Finals at minimum. Now, am I picking them to win it all if Anthony Davis and LeBron James is healthy? No, I'm not. They're not my favorite, but they're right there. And look, those two guys right there are healthy, are still arguably the best duo in basketball. And so when I look at AD and I look at him being in the middle of his prime, look, we know LeBron James being that point forward. It's no one can stop them in the two-man game. On the defensive side of things, they brought Darvin Ham in for a reason. Darvin Ham is going to hold those guys accountable. Darvin Ham is going to be that coach that's going to not be afraid to get in their face and hold them accountable on the defensive side of things.
Perk, I love it because remember what Jamal Murray and Jokic did to Kawhi and PG-13 and the Clippers, right? They looked unstoppable. But when they ran into LeBron and AD, they had no wins, because Jokic got outplayed by AD, and Jamal Murray's a great player, but he ain't LeBron James. Those two, just those two, if they're healthy, it's a whole lot. All right, it's that time of day. It's time to perk up with Kendrick Perkins. First up, Perk. Should Lakers fans be worried about the aforementioned Clippers winning a title this season if they're healthy?
Hell yeah, they should be worried. Look, when you look at the Clippers, they have the deepest roster in the NBA. When you look at the most important position in the NBA for us, the wing position, the Clippers are loaded. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Nicholas Batum, Norman Powell. You have Robert Covington. And then they just signed back Big Zubac to anchor the middle. And they have elite guard play in John Wall and Reggie Jackson. And by the way, Max Kellerman, they have one of the best coaches, if not the best coach in the game, in Tyronn Lue.
Yeah, by the way, what's the difference between these Clippers and the Clippers who got beaten, who were heavily favored by a lot of people, or favored by a lot of people to maybe get out of the West, and got beaten by Denver? What you just said, Ty Lue. Yes, they're deeper, I get it, but they probably have the coach that you would want before any other coach in the game right now. All right, next up, Perk. Who needs KD more at this moment if he does indeed leave Brooklyn? The Phoenix Suns or the Miami Heat?